Hi there, Annalena here. I want to share chapter 4 of the story The Mollimi People from Deep Space. And chapter 4 is called A Message from the Intergalactic Council. Outside, twilight is about to fall over the settlement. The four Mollimis walk into the forest along a little path by the lake, which goes further in between the trees. They follow the path until they come to a large cliff wall. Amitola and Motega have been here many times before to play and climb, but now something happens which they have never experienced before. Ahanu and Aquene walk toward opposite ends of the wall and signal to the two youths that they should follow. Amitola walks with Ahanu and Motega walks with Aquene. On each end of the large wall there is a circle-shaped hollow in the stone which is well hidden behind grass, small twigs and moss. The two older Mollimis take out their medallions, look at each other and nod. Then they place the medallions in the two holes at the same time. Amitola and Motega take a few steps backwards in pure fright, because now powerful beams of light in all colors begin streaming out from the rock. Speechless, they stare as the enormous gleaming stone wall slides up and the entrance to the cave appears. "Come with us, it's not dangerous," says Aquene. Ahanu winks at them. When they are inside the cave, Aquene pulls on a stone lever in the wall, and suddenly the rock wall goes down again over the entrance. Amitola and Motega stand completely still with bright eyes and stare at the walls and the ceiling of the cave. The inside of the cave is covered with hundreds of glowing stones that blink and gleam in all the colors of the rainbow. "Oh, look!" exclaims Amitola. She is thunderstruck. "But what is it?" asks Motega, as his gaze wanders around the space from the walls to the ceiling in complete amazement. "It is Eurylis," answers Aquene. "It is a type of gem. They are very precious and have been here for thousands of years." Aquene's deep blue eyes shine in the light from the beautiful stones. Neither Amitola nor Motega can find words for what they are experiencing, and they continue through the cave in silence, bathed in the colorful light from the numerous stones. They walk slowly so as not to miss a single second of this indescribable experience. They continue until they can see that the cave ends a little bit further ahead. When Motega and Amitola see the view that awaits them outside the cave, they stop. Ahanu and Aquene stop also. "Come along, it's completely safe." Aquene's voice is reassuring and Ahanu nods calmly. Amitola and Motega move slowly toward the exit. Where the cave ends, the cave floor continues out onto a plateau which is shaped as a half circle. They walk as if they are in the middle of a dream. Neither Amitola nor Motega are in any condition to form words. The sight that meets them is completely indescribable. For a long time they just stand there and stare and stare. They are standing in the middle of an endless sea of stars, thousands, millions of stars, some so close that it almost feels as if they can touch them, others so far away that the eye can hardly see them. It's the universe. After what seems like a very long time, Amitola finds her voice. Her dark brown eyes are wide open. Yes, it is. Ahanu's voice is deep and calm. I have never seen anything so beautiful before, says Motega. His face is glowing. And I can feel my own breathing, says Amitola, as she lays one hand on her chest, which is rising and sinking in rhythm with the pulse of the universe. Yes, out here we can feel who we are, explains Aquene. She lays her hand on her own heart. It's as if I have been here before. Motega says this and shakes his head a little, unable to understand, as if he is trying to remember something. You have been, answers Ahanu. It is where we all come from. Ahanu smiles touchingly. Amitola's clear eyes shine like two stars. I have never experienced such a calmness before, she says. Motega gulps. He cannot take his eyes off the sea of stars. He says quietly, I believe that I could stand here forever. Aquene nods softly, and they all stand still for a long time without any of them saying anything. Suddenly the stars begin to move. Look, what is it? Says Amitola in an excited whisper. She points to the stars which are beginning to create new patterns. Wait a moment. It is the Intergalactic Council, Aquene whispers to Amitola and Motega, who remain motionless while the stars move to form 7 gigantic, luminous beings in the sky. The 2 young Mollimis do not make a sound as one of the luminous beings bows and talks to them with a deep and resounding voice. Greetings, Amitola, Motega, Ahanu, and Aquene. The first star creature is a powerful warrior with a mass of wild hair. He is dressed in a 2-piece, silver-colored warrior suit with a belt made of gold. He carries a glowing sword in his right hand and a shield in his left. Thank you, Okupas, answer Ahanu and Aquene, as they bow politely, and after a brief, confused moment, Motega and Amitola instinctively do the same. Okupas bows in return without saying anything further. Now the second star creature is speaking. It is a pleasure to finally meet the 2 young archers. I am Isaiah. Isaiah is an unusually beautiful woman with a long hair hanging loose about her shoulders. She is dressed in a long, pale, flowing dress that has short sleeves. Her eyes shine like fire. We greet you, Isaiah. Aquene and Ahanu bow again, and Amitola and Motega do the same. Isaiah proudly bows in response. And I am Kaluku. We have been looking forward to meeting you, Amitola and Motega. Tonight you will receive your medallions, and we have a mission for you. Kaluku is the third star being. He's an old wise man with long grey hair and a long grey beard. He's dressed in a long tunic and wears a white cape over his shoulders. He is carrying an old scroll in one hand. The four Mollimis bow again in a reverent greeting, and Kaluku bows in return. The fourth star creature then begins. I am Mafego. Many people on earth have forgotten who they are and where they come from. They have forgotten that they are created in light and love. The children remember it still, but many forget it early. And most of the adult humans have entirely forgotten where they come from. Mafego is a young and beautiful woman. She has a peaceful face, and her eyes are mild and bright with love. She is dressed in a long, simple dress with a braided belt around the waist. On her head she wears a silky soft scarf, which falls beautifully and naturally down around her shoulders. We have heard your words, Mafego, Aquene answers the woman, and they bow to each other in the same way as with the other star beings. Now Motega gathers all his courage to finally speak. But why us? And Amitola nods in agreement with his question. Now the fifth star creature speaks. Thank you for your question, Motega. My name is Isi Uli. You both have trained with the bow since you were very small. You will have use for it on your mission. You are some of the most clever in this discipline in the universe. Therefore, we have been keeping an eye on you. You two are valuable delegates for this task. Isi Uli is a long, slender woman with very short hair and luminous eyes. She has a diadem of silver on her head, and she is dressed in a simple jumpsuit and has a beautiful patterned cape over her shoulders. In her left hand she has a drum. Amitola looks in astonishment at the luminous star creatures. But what is our mission? What should we do? She asks. The sixth star being is named Vikos. He's a proud man with a determined gaze. He explains, Amitola, you and Motega will travel to Earth from this plateau. Ahanu and Aquene will tell you what to do. Vikos has long hair in many tiny braids, and he's wearing a fine leather suit covered in feathers and decorations. Amitola and Motega look at Ahanu and Aquene, who nod in encouragement. Then they bow politely to Vikos, who bows politely in return. Sijeksu, the seventh star creature, rests on one knee and bows his head when he speaks to the two young Mollimis. Go in peace, Amitola and Motega. traveled to earth with humility and with love. He has mid-length hair and is clad in simple trousers and a tunic of linen. His face and eyes shine with the light of peace and love. Amitola and Motega look at Sijeksu and the other 6 star being. "Thank you so much," they say together. They bow their heads, overwhelmed and grateful for what they have experienced. "You are welcome, Amitola and Motega. We will see you again. Take care until then." Okupas, the first star creature, is speaking again. Then all together, the 7 luminous beings bow deeply, and for a long time, the stars begin to move again until together they create a gigantic constellation in the form of a heart arrow. After a few moments, the heart arrow suddenly whooshes away and disappears into the universe. Then everything returns to how it was before, when they had first arrived. All 4 Mollimis stand there for a moment, just looking at the endless stars and listening to the indescribable silence. Finally, they leave the plateau and go back through the cave and through the forest toward home. No one speaks while they are walking.